Virality, in its essence, is a phenomenon that bridges psychology, semiotics, and technology. It is a form of propagation that moves faster than reason and often deeper than conscious articulation. The viral is not just what spreads rapidly, but what resonates, what repeats, what compels imitation or transmission across minds and platforms. It is the gesture, image, or phrase that escapes singular ownership and becomes cultural software. To understand virality, one must first understand the mirror, then the hypermirror, and finally the simulacrum. The mirror reflects the self. The hypermirror is digital. The self is content, infinitely reproducible, stripped from its origin and placed into a circulating system of reference. In the hypermirror, an image becomes more real than the source. Jean Baudrillard called this the simulacrum, a copy without an original, a map that precedes the territory. It is no longer a reflection, but a self-reinforcing loop. Virality lives within the simulacrum. The most viral images or moments are often not true or false, but contagious. They act on the psyche like psychic viruses, bypassing rational filters and activating primal or emotional reactions. A meme, a phrase, a scandal, a video snippet. These do not spread because of their truth, but because they fit the psychic mold of our digital collective consciousness. They speak to our biases, our needs to belong, to signal, to participate. This propagation is now amplified by algorithmic systems. What was once a gesture in the agora or a rumor in the market is now a trend on TikTok or a thread on Twitter, duplicated, iterated, decontextualized, and reabsorbed into the collective stream. Virality is not accidental. It is structured by platforms that reward engagement, not truth. And so virality becomes not merely a technical property, but a force that reshapes social understanding, politics, sexuality, identity, and even philosophy. The most dangerous viral gestures are not those that are overtly harmful, but those that become indistinguishable from truth because of repetition. A viral idea repeated enough wears the clothing of reality. Virality is not new. Religious movements, revolutions, musical styles, and even philosophical ideas have gone viral long before the internet. What has changed is speed and fidelity. Now, virality is instantaneous and global, looping back into itself in hours rather than decades. The viral lives between two poles, authenticity and performativity. An act that feels genuine, but can be mimicked, is primed for virality. But the mimicked act itself becomes performance. Thus, virality commodifies authenticity. It turns gesture into currency. Understanding virality is essential for the thinker in the age of hyper-reality. It is not enough to ask what is true. One must ask what is viral and why. Who benefits from its spread? What psychic needs does it fulfill? What does it suppress? The philosopher must learn to track the viral not as entertainment, but as a signal of the collective unconscious. What is most shared is what is most feared, most desired, most denied. In this way, virality is the psyche's own search engine, surfacing the unspeakable in the language of image and meme. In a world governed by virality, resistance may lie in silence, or slowness, or in the refusal to share. But more than resistance, understanding is required. Only then can the philosopher walk freely among the simulacra without being absorbed by them.